Batman has arguably the biggest and most popular rogues gallery of all superheroes, but while villains like the Joker, Poison Ivy and Bane get most of the recognition, I want to take a look at one other underrated Batman villain whose implied past is surprisingly far darker and deeper than any other. A Batman the Animated Series exclusive, Baby Doll. The episode, titled after said character, was the 76th episode of Batman the Animated Series, featuring the character of Mary Dahl, former star of the hit TV show Love That Baby, in which she played the character of Baby Doll, a mischievous child who justifies her actions by saying,
"I didn't mean to,"
afterwards, as most kids do. At first glance, she's just some little kid, but looks can be deceiving. She was born with systemic hyperplasia, a rare condition that actually prevented her physical body from aging, meaning that she spent almost all her life looking like a cute little girl. Now, I'm not going to explain the whole episode, but to sum it up, she ends up kidnapping her old castmates to throw herself a birthday party and then kill them with a dynamite stick as the candle. This is an homage to the final episode of the show before she quit, in which her face was slammed into the birthday cake by the character of Cousin Spunky. She initially quit the show because she hated how much the character of Spunky took away all the attention from her, and people just weren't loving her as much because of it. And so, she ended up wanting revenge. However, none of that was what pushed her to do all of this. She quit the show expecting to excel in other roles, but ended up getting rejected at every turn because she wasn't a very good actor at anything else. Even when she got a break to play Lady Macbeth, she didn't see any success due to her poor acting in said role, alongside her childlike appearance. Because of all this, she became washed up and ended up realizing that she was actually really happy when she was with the cast of Love That Baby and with all the people at home watching her each week, and so she decided to go back to the networks to try and get the show back on the air. However, they gave her a firm no and thus ended her career as an actress. She was now at arguably the worst point in her life. The one piece of hope she had left was crushed and she had nothing. Over the years, she grew to resent Cousin Spunky the most because she felt like he took all the spotlight from her, which began the chain of events that brought her to her current state. All the years of pent-up aggression finally manifested, sprouting the evil plan that plays out in the episode. Now obviously, there is no way of justifying kidnapping for eventual murder. However, Batman the Animated Series is notorious for making you sympathize with the villain, and though they didn't give specific details of her life after the network rejection, there's a lot we can piece together from what we do know, and what I've found out is actually really sad because she was actually stripped of any chance of happiness almost entirely because of her condition. So with all that said, this is why Baby Doll is darker than you thought. Now, I'm no scientist, philosopher, psychologist or anything of the sort, but I am smart enough to theorize based on what I know. I believe none of the events of the episode would have happened if Mary Dahl was just happy and satisfied with her life, and unfortunately, like I said before the intro, her condition halted almost any chance of her being a truly happy and content adult. And here's why. My research has come up with 3 things that make the average human adult feel genuine happiness. Number 1, high quality relationships. Number 2, a job or hobby that they enjoy but that also challenges them. And number 3, pro-social behavior, such as helping others with volunteer work. There is not a lot we know about Baby Doll's life, but there's enough we can use to get an idea of what her life was like once she got rejected by the network, and how these 3 aspects of overall happiness were limited mostly by her condition. So let's go through each one. Now, to be honest, there isn't much I can say on this. Mary Dahl's extremely selfish at heart and quite prideful. That's why she quit the show in the first place. Even though the script required Spunky to dunk her head in the birthday cake, she allowed this to trigger her quitting because she felt like she wasn't getting enough attention, and this ended up putting the rest of the cast out of work. She only tried to get the show back because she missed having people watch and adore her. Other than that, the fact that she even decided to commit the events of the episode shows that she only really cares about herself, because she was angry at everyone else even though she ruined everything, so there's no way she was going to feel any joy in giving back to others. Next. So Baby Doll's love was clearly acting, and I'm going to end this quick because she obviously didn't go very far after she quit the show. She most likely spent the last 15 years doing menial jobs to pay the bills and live, but that seems to be it, to be honest. No hobbies, no other interests, just her vengeance and fury, so I'm gonna also strike this off the list. However, there is still one more aspect of happiness that can trump all else. Before that, here's a quick message from our sponsor. Have you guys ever wanted some wavy looking anime t-shirts, hoodies, or accessories? Well, the lads over at Kaioken Clothing will hook you up with the very best quality anime based streetwear. Check out the store in the description and use the code TELBY for 10% off your entire order and become a true fan of your favorite anime. Close relationships can be broken down into 3 types: romantic, family, and friendships. Let's start with family. The first thing we can determine is that by the time period of the Baby Doll episode, Mary Dahl is not in touch with any family, either because of personal reasons or because they're dead. The reason I say this is because she initially kidnaps the original cast without cousin Spunky to spend time with them, as they felt like family to her, meaning she had to have been pretty alone at this point family-wise. Most people who are without family end up making up for that loneliness with either friends or lovers, so let's try friends. Now, we don't know about any friends she may have had because the episode didn't hint anything of the sort, so I'm not going to go into much detail about the topic, but I personally believe that she doesn't have any at the time of the episode, which would justify her loneliness that much more. I'm sure she may have had some friends, but at some point they probably abandoned her for various reasons, which may have been the catalyst for her evil plan, as she was ultimately left alone and with no one, leaving romantic as the final close relationship that gives people reason to be happy when they have nothing else. This would mean being with someone who cares about and cherishes you with all their heart, soul, and mind. But unfortunately, and this may sound really peak, but I can without a doubt say that she has never had a proper romantic partner in her life, whether it be a boyfriend, husband, lover, it doesn't matter because her condition will have made it impossible for her to ever have or ever be romantically involved with anyone. Mary Dahl may be an adult, however being stuck in a child's body ultimately means no man will ever be romantically interested in her because they can't legally. Any man who would show any form of physical attraction towards her will be ultimately a proven paedophile because the physical body of the person they're dating would be that of a child's. Her permanent child body also means no non-paedophile would ever be interested, and anyone who tried anything would be convicted. And so there's honestly no way for her to even get the sexual satisfaction that many use to keep themselves going during times of stress, as she would never have physically gone through puberty, even though mentally she's in her 30s. She may even have the desire to become sexually active, but can't due to her child body, and so her actions could even be the result of being sexually deprived for all these years, and that pent-up sexual frustration could have manifested into negative thoughts, which just continued to build up over time as her life got worse and worse until she finally hit her breaking point. She is literally a 35-year-old virgin. Now let's finish this off by talking about the episode's poetic ending. As she ran from Batman in a carnival ride, she gets to the House of Mirrors and in the final one sees her potential adult body. It fills her with so much joy seeing the real true her, but upon touching the mirror, she comes to realize that just like her TV family, it's not real, and begins to shoot every mirror with Batman's reflections saying,
"Why couldn't you just let me make believe?"
Because she may be an adult, but she had to live as a child. This continues until only the mirror with her older self remained, and as she begins to cry over what she missed out on, she shoots that mirror until there's no ammo left, and continues to shoot in the same position until Batman takes the gun. She then looks up at him, cries even harder, and hugs his leg. Then, in her adult voice, she says her last line of the episode, her character's catchphrase, "I didn't mean to." But this time, every bit of that sentence was not make-believe. After all that I managed to come up with in this episode, the ending just seems so much sadder, doesn't it? I feel so bad for her because that condition honestly ruined so much for her. And that, in my opinion, is why Baby Doll is far darker and deeper than you initially thought. Honestly, the episode actually made me tear up because I had never sympathized with a villain so much in my life. So big shout out to Paul Dini who wrote the episode. And remember, if you lot want some wavy looking anime t-shirts, hoodies, or accessories, be sure to check out Kaioken Clothing in the link below, using the code TELBY for 10% off. And be sure to follow my Instagram at SirTCBibs for daily Dragon Ball memes, updates, and if you want to talk to me, go right ahead. So once again, I appreciate you man taking your time to watch this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and bless.